Good morning, everybody. How the heck are we doing on this Tuesday, April 29th? Glad everybody's here. Thank you very much. I want to welcome everybody to our open house today. For those who don't know, this is Rick. Howdy. With Hit and Run Candlesticks. I appreciate you being here. Should be a fun day. The market looks pretty reasonable. Doesn't look like we're going to have any craziness. So let's dive in here. Let's get to this chart. There we go. Hey, good morning, Ed. Good morning. Hi, JW. Good morning. Gold to Mine. Good morning. How are you? There we go. Thomas. Hey, Thomas. Thanks for your note this morning. I appreciate it very much. Good morning, Donna. Hello, Roger. Joe. Thanks for your morning quotes. Appreciate it. Dave, Chip, Sonny. Good morning, everybody. All the early birds here. Thank you so very much. Okay, let's get going. Right. So, you know, we're all creatures of habit. Oe, is it Oe? I hope I said that right. Oe from Sweden. How you doing? Hi, how are you? You know, if you're, I don't know what you do if you're a plumber. I don't know what you do if you're an electrician. I really don't know. I don't know what you do if you're a doctor, a dentist, anything like that. I don't know. But if you're a stock trader, I suspect you wake up in the morning and you grab your phone here and you grab your phone and you look at the morning futures and you check maybe the positions you're in, how they're doing and things like that. I know I'm horribly guilty of that. So maybe I'm the only one. But here we are pre-market before the market opens up. By the way, I want to mention that for those that are just tuning in today, that every day, Monday through Friday, most Fridays, okay, because sometimes I'm not here in the mornings. So I'll say most Fridays, 8:45 Eastern, we meet up right here for a pre-market charts and targets. This is open to the public. You can pick it up here in the room live. Thank you, members, for being in here. And of course, you can pick it up on Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can pick it up there. So thank you very much. Good morning. How you doing up there? Stefan? Yeah, Stefan, good morning. So let's get going here. This here candle shows the pre-market, and it looks like we're up a little bit. So I'm real happy with that. You know, the worst thing in the world is you wake up in the morning and here's where we close Friday and we're down here. So it's really good that we're up here. I think that's great. This green line was painted red. Let me get my arrows here. Was painted red while we were down here. We painted it green because now we're above that level. That level is the 50% level of the highs. What is it? February highs down here to the recent April lows, I guess. And that 50% level represents basically, coming back 50% of that chart. But the kind of the way I think about it, and it's the way I think of candlesticks, is if you had 100 votes, what are the votes leaning toward? You know, is it 25 votes bullish or 25 votes or 75 votes bearish? So if we think about that, all the voting, while typical arguments trying to get your vote across, it's very clear that the votes right now are leaning to the bullish side because we've been going up. You've got higher lows here moving to the high side. You've actually got a high here, and now we have higher highs. So overall, the voting with all the traders is moving up. Well, it's moved up over that 50% level. What that tells me is that there's more than 50% of the traders wants to go higher. When I say traders, I don't mean just traders. I mean, investors, everybody in the stock market, everybody involved with the stock market is looking to push this higher. So now that we're moving up, and this becomes a great target, it becomes good resistance, and it becomes good support. Well, now it's acting as support now that we're over it. The next line we're headed for is about 560, 160. we also have to be respectful to the 50 period moving average right there. You got to be respectful to that. So we're right in that area to attack the 50 and then about this 561. We get through this, and the next level will be about the 200 period moving average, then up here to about 580. But let's take baby steps, one little step at a time. Let's just get to that area, okay? Just to it. Right now, so good. So far, so good. We've got price is above the T line. The T line is the black line right here, and T line is above the trend indicator. It took several days to get through that. We were right here, and it just seemed like, I thought for sure the day before yesterday we would get through it, but all we did was just hung right on top of that green dot, and then finally we got through that where we're on top of that dot. So now my trend is officially bullish when all three of these things happen. Now that's a very short-term trend. Okay, let's take a look at the Qs. Try that again. There we go. Qs. The Qs, you see, we're still painted red. That's because we've not closed above that yet. And when we close above it, I'll paint that green. That will become support. As of now, it's still resistance. We do have take price. It is above the T line. T line is above the trend indicator. So that's all working great. Now what we need is price to push up. Unfortunately, it does have the 50 period moving average to deal with. And that 50 period moving average can cause some headaches. The 50, major moving averages, the 50 is one of them. It can act as a target, both looking up or looking down. It can act as support, resistance. It can act as a magnet, bringing price to it. So the 50 is very important. When we get to it, sometimes it'll blow through it and test right away. Sometimes it'll come up to it and just kind of bounce around. But I do think we're going to get there. We're almost close enough to call it now, and we need to make sure that it finds some buyers to push us up. This bar will turn green, and then it'll act as support, meaning if price comes back through there, that might not be a good thing. So right now, I think the Qs are looking pretty good. Quickly look at IYT, the transports. I sure wish they were looking better. They're not as good as I would like them to be, but hey, we've got another one that looks better, so we're good. You can see this trend is moving up here. We've got this downtrend there. From a bullish standpoint, waiting for it to break out to the upside. From those that want to be bearish, then you'd like to see the transports move down, because the transports and SMH are very powerful to the market. And you can have one of them go one way and the other one go the other way, and the market will follow where the biggest power is. So it's important to keep track of the transports and SMH. Notice we're still looking to get toward or closer to that 50% retracement line. SMH, this one here is doing a little bit better. That's why I'm not so worried about IYT, because the market does not need the transports to go higher as long as we have SMH. If SMH is doing pretty good, then the Qs should be doing pretty good. If the Qs are doing pretty good, then the SPYs should be doing pretty good, because the SPY is loaded with tech. Notice we're still red because we're not above it yet. Notice price is above the T line, and the T line is just laying right there. I should be putting those arrows that way, shouldn't I? Laying right on top of the trend indicator. So we're close to getting our game on right here. And if we break out, I think we're doing pretty good. Break out. We're gonna need to test and then see some follow through. But right now, I think we're doing pretty good. When I say right now, I think it's important that we just simply follow the chart. If you can follow the news, well, that'll make you just batshit crazy, honestly. You can wait for any notes that are passed around the classroom, and like I say, that'll just make you nuts. Just stick with the charts. Keep trading simple. Follow the charts. Are we trending? I think one of the greatest indicators is from TC 2000, and it's the title of it is T2123. We can talk more about that later. But right now, that is bullish down here. And as long as that's bullish, the power is with the bulls. If it turns bearish, like right here, for instance, then the power will be with the bulls. This is one of these indicators that if you just simply paid attention to it 100% of the time, you'd do so much better. Unfortunately, as traders, and as for me, a pig-headed guy sometimes, you know, I don't need any stinking indicator. And sometimes I don't follow that. And I usually get my britches handed to me after being spanked. So stick with this. Those that have TC 2000, we can talk about, well, we'll talk about this more today for sure in the room. But for those that have TC 2000, I highly recommend you putting that on your charts right there. Okay. Okay, let's go back to here. I have a couple of things. Today, trade goods, consumer confidence tomorrow, Treasury refunding announcement, personal income outlay, petroleum status. Those are the biggies. Then you get over here on Thursday, jobless claims, manufacturing. Those are, the biggies, unemployment status over here. So I don't know if those are quite as important as the fact we're smack dab in earnings. That's the one thing I would really, really watch this week. With heavy earnings this week here. So what else was I going to say? Oh, hey, good morning over there. Hydro, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. MW, good morning. Steve, good morning. How are you? How's everybody? Thanks for dialing in from our social media side, YouTube, Facebook, X. Appreciate that very much. All right, let's take a look at some charts here. You guys have some already. We'll take a look at SLV. I think that may be on my list as well. You can see SLV is trending up. There we go. Sorry. Let me turn that into a pin. So we've got price above the T line above the trendicator above the 50-period moving average. That's a bonus. You can see we're trending. So there would be, that's what you want to do is follow the trend. So follow the trend. So now price is popping up here. Your biggest concern is to get, price to move up higher, break out of these highs over here. So right through there might be a buy, but you can't ignore the left side. You can't do it. I mean, as much as I would love to, and as much as I try to, many times I do, you can't not unsee this. So you come over here, you put things in here like that might be a resistance level right through there. And of course, that top might be a resistance level. So now there's your trade, right? And I think it's looking very good. So I think it looks good. Yeah. But you just have to plan your trade out on how you're going to trade that. Also plan where you're going to put your stop in just in case it doesn't work out so well. We've got some SCMI over here. SCMI, yeah. SM, yeah. I've been watching this chart. This one I've kind of been waiting on. And what I'm waiting on is basically to get over this construction area right here. This dotted, and we'll start over here, right there. So right through here, what it's doing is it's constructing a bottom. I've been waiting for that bottom to be constructed, and then I will look to be trading when it breaks out over that construction area. So what I'm going to, I can't say this is what's going to happen, but what I would like to see is that breakout. 1, 2, 3 days would be fine, would be great. In fact, a little pullback would be great. And then I want to see those buyers come back in here. This area would act as support. And then I can be on my way to our 50% retracement area, which is, 26% away. That's pretty darn good. So SMCI is definitely one for my watch list. Right now, we're just stuck up against a whole lot of resistance, so I'm a little bit reluctant to be a buyer right away. I want to see the bulls step in there more than they already have. I want them to break that out, and then I want it to rest. Okay. RGTI. Yeah, we've looked at that one a few times over the several days, and that's definitely one on our watch list. So it's actually in buy territory right now. Bullish 3/8 trap. Here's our 50% retracement up here about 1430. That would be a fantastic target. Clearly, it's going to need to get through these highs and these lows, right? And then we're going to need to get through this next level right here of about $10.50. So there's some little stumbling blocks or target areas moving up to get to the sweet spot of that 50% retracement area. Let's see. What do I think about Pony? Pony. Well, I think it has some buyers in here. I don't think it's a buy right in here just because it's up too high, but it's all about that follow through. The thing to do is maybe put that stop on there if you're in it, and then trade from there. I would like to see a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a pullback on it, but a very clean chart. Buyers just wow, plowed right in there. Yeah, I'm gonna flag that one. Thank you. That's a nice chart. We'll keep that one on our list. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. HIMS. I've got HIMS was one of the first ones I wrote down on my list this morning. I've got a list here. You can see a list of stocks. Yeah, that was one of the first ones I wrote down. So I'm not a gap chaser. So the first gap, I rarely go after that. So for me, what it is let it gap up, which that's not what the candle is going to look like this morning when the market opens. It'll be just up here. So it'll be up above that 50 period moving average. What I want to do is see if it'll stay up there. That will also, let's do it this way. There we go. That will also take out the construction area. This is the construction of the chart, the bottoming of the chart. The buyers and sellers swapping back and forth, and the buyers saying, we want it, we want it, we want it, kicking some of those sellers out of there. Finally, they kicked them out of there enough, and now it can start going up. So now that we've broken out of that, this becomes a buy area right through there. So what I would like to see is really, I'd like to see it not go up anymore. I'd like it to see it stay right in here and then settle down and give us a buy signal. And now we've got some trading in there. Big move today on it. Yeah, caught that this morning. Okay. I noticed somebody here in the room just posted they bought some UNG. And yeah, that's on my list here too. Look at that. UNG may be starting to come up. We're in that construction. 1 second, please. Throat getting dry. We're in that construction area. We were below the 200 period moving average. We closed above it yesterday. We're taking on the dotted deuce or the modified 200 period moving average right here. And we'll certainly be talking about that today and how to set it up. It's real easy to do. And a worthwhile moving average to have on your charts. So that's looking pretty good. Now, one thing we know about traders, we all of us have that disease of fear of missing out. Every single one of us. Okay. And we also know something else, that all charts pull back after they run up. So when we all have that disease full of fear of missing out, and we all know charts pull back after they run up, well, that's a disaster waiting to happen. So here we've run up. Those with fear of missing out are jumping into it, and then I probably should change the color here because I'm going to need red. There we go. Fear of missing out traders jump in. And what do we know? We know that all charts pull back. Now, I'm not saying this is where it's going to pull back. It may go a little higher before it does that, but it will pull back. It pulls back, and then there'll be a lot of the folks that jumped into it, not everybody, will close it out because they can't stand the heat. Well, now they're out that money. Okay. That's what happens when you have that disease, and you know for a fact it's going to pull back. But when you get in bed with those two, it rarely works out for you. So patience works out terrific for me. Now, one thing that I believe is that this chart may be headed to that 50% retracement, which means there's a lot of room left in here. We'll go look here in a minute. So I can be a trader. I can manage this trade like a professional trader, and I can let it set up. Let it set up. Let the sellers come in and take some profits, and then we'll come in and buy a little bit, and then we can trade it to the upside along with the pullbacks, because there will be some, and maybe take profits, if the pullbacks are too deep, or keep it, and then it can start moving up. So I think this one is one for the watch list. It's looking pretty good. I love the bottom that it put in here, but I would expect some kind of a pullback coming soon. And let's do this. Let's take this. See, here's the bottom construction area. Okay. Now, over the bottom construction area, you've got 12% up there, the 50% retracement level. And that is a great target to look for. So I would call that enough money. So I'm going to be patient and let this set up. And by some little miracle that this thing pulls all the way back to about right here, how sweet would that be? Because now it just made your target 18, 19% away, more money. Anyway, there's my thoughts on UNG. I spotted that this morning myself and say, all right, we need to be thinking about that. Let's see, MLGO. Yeah, I don't think let's see, often good percentage. Yeah, when it's ready, but I don't think it's ready yet. There's some stocks that I think of them as flyers, and this is one of them so far, where it gives you that one night fly, one night stand kind of a thing, and then it becomes nothing after that. Absolutely nothing. And so far, it's absolutely nothing. It does not have a buy signal in here. It doesn't have a good chart pattern in here. It was just a wham, bam, thank you, man. You're all done. Move on. And until it sets up again, I mean, keep it on the watch list, but until it sets up again, kind of a nothing for me. Nothing burger. Nothing burger. It needs the chart pattern. Here's a nice chart setting up. CCC, nice clean chart, $1.70 here. A very nice bottom, very clean. Very, very clean. What I mean by that is it's just organized. It's not choppy. Just a nice little move. Here we are down. Price is above the T-line. T-line's about to go above the trend indicator. You've got the 50-period moving average target right there. I think that's looking pretty sharp. If we come over here and put, some of those lines in there, I think that's a good place right there. We could even shorten that up, come down to that high. That might be a better one. But right through here to that 50% level, that's 80%. Good Lord, that's what dreams are made of, 80%. Even if you waited till it moved up over that 50-period moving average, you're looking at almost 50% right there. So CCC looks pretty good. You're welcome, MW. Hey, Kevin, UEC. Yep, that one's on my list as well. Wait a minute, am I in that one? No. I thought it's a U. I am in one of those U charts. Nice little bottom. Bulls and bears had a bit of a fight right here. Really tight arm wrestle. The bulls seem to have won. The trend is moving up. You've got momentum. Price above the T-line, T-line above the trend indicator, T-line above the 50-period moving average. This is knocking on the door of a rounded bottom breakout. target up here at the dotted deuce and or the 200 period moving average. That's a nice chart. We'll flag that one. Thank you. Yeah, that's a real nice chart. Would love to see a little bit of a pullback. That would make for a nice entry on it. Yeah. Let's take a look at a coin. I have to watch the time. Oops, I'm about there. Coin. Here, coin has broken out over the construction area. Construction area is where a stock comes down. Bulls are 100% in control. Excuse me. I'm sorry, bears. Bears are in 100% control. It's just completely going down. And all of a sudden, the bulls come in and say, just hold up for a second. And then there becomes a battle between the buyers and sellers. So the buyers and sellers, they start fighting through here. And then we start watching, well, who's taking the lead? Are the sellers, clearly been moving down here. Are the sellers going to keep going? Well, evidently, no. It kind of looks like the buyers have taken some control. They've started to move up. And now you see our green dots, they're now green. See our red dots? Red dots are bearish, green dots are bullish. Red dots are bearish, green dots are bullish. This is the coolest thing on a chart right here. So no sense in being bullish over here until they turn green. Okay, so now we've turned green. Everything is setting up. I think coin is looking pretty sharp here. A run up there to that 50% retracement, about 20%. We'll talk about the charts that I bought up yesterday before the close when the market opens up. We'll talk about those, okay? I am out of time. I do want to thank everybody. I want everybody over there in social media to remember that we have an open house today. So you're more than welcome to come over in the trading room all day long, okay? Find a link and register. Then you'll be sent the login instructions over here in the room. Please do that. All righty. Thank you again for being over there in the social media. I appreciate that. Our group is growing over there, by the way. It's very nice. Thanks. Thank you to all the members for being here. I appreciate that. And we'll see everybody back here in about 18 minutes when the market opens up. Okay. You guys all take care. Thanks a bunch.